Hey guys, my name's Charles. Today I want to share with you my Cessna Citation 750 build. So I've been working on this build for about a year and a half, and by the way, this is my first YouTube video, so this ought to be interesting. Anyway, been watching Chris over at Demon Driver, and love his techniques, and most of the stuff I've done, most of the things I've done, I've pretty much modeled after him, using his techniques. So love Ramy and a lot of the other guys, but anyway, this kind of these techniques suit me better, I think. So we'll see how it goes. I've been building for a while. I've been in this hobby for probably 20 something years, over 20 years. Come from balsa spruce, ultra coat, that kind of thing. So got out of it for a lot of years, and I've gotten back into it, and I'm fascinated by this scratch building, this foam scratch building, and to me that's where it's at. So I enjoy the building part of it just as much as I do the flying part of it. So today I want to show you guys my wing box section. There's some gray area, I think, with some of the videos out there, and either it was gray to me or I just didn't get it. But I'm doing mine a little different. You kind of don't want to do the same song, but my wings are going to be detachable, mainly for storage and transportation. So I'm going to show you guys some pictures of how I got to this point, and then we'll get into the wing box section. So hang tight. Hey guys, so tonight I'm going to show you my wing box section. I'm not going to show a lot of how I cut this stuff, unless there's some interest in it. There's so many videos out there on how to cut foam and sheet tube and wings and all that stuff. I just want to kind of show you guys how I did my wing box. This is my first foam build, and I'm pretty excited about it, but this is a new project for me. So let me reposition the camera and we'll get started. Alright, so let's get started with it. So I'm actually going to take this apart backwards for you to give you an idea of what I've done with my wing box. So these are actually the wing roots, and this is a pretty thick airfoil. I'm not really going for super scale. I'm going more for flight characteristics, and there was a lot of time spent on this wing design, a lot of math, not a lot of math, but some math, some tables and plotting and whatnot. The wing is actually two wings that are blended together. The inboard wing, the inboard half is actually a really high lift wing, and then the outer half is more of a high speed wing. So I blended these two hopefully to get some pretty good performance. So my hope is it'll fly and I don't have a lot of issues. This is my first attempt at a foam build, and I really want it to fly well. I don't want it to be super fast. The full size will do Mach 0.92, and this airplane's never going to reach those speeds. So to me, performance is going to be everything, and I want it to fly more like a trainer than I do a super fast jet. So really, this wing box here started out like this. Just two pieces of foam. I'm lucky enough with my work, I installed some new equipment, and these were covering the electronic displays, and I grabbed these. These were actually perfect, and all I did was hollow one of them out, kept this border, glued it to the top of that, and that was my wing box. So those two glued together, top one hollowed out, and then what I wound up doing, I'm going to go ahead and pull this fuse off here. I've got some standoffs in there. So really, the strength is coming from these carbon fiber dowels, tubes, and what I did is took 2-inch dowel, went into the carbon fiber tube, epoxied those in there, and then put a screw in each one of them just in case. These screws are actually going into that dowel there. This is where my dowel for my locating pin is going to go, here and here. These are for my wiring that are going to come through for the flaps and the ailerons. So I'm trying to keep it pretty simple. And what's going to happen, I don't have anything really glued in yet. This is hot glued right now, just kind of tacked in, just to get everything where it's supposed to be. I won't glue this in until I probably do a second video on my engine mounting setup, and when I do that video I'll show an update with everything glued in. But this is basically going to get glassed in. There's going to be fiberglass cloth over that. I'm going to glass that in. These ends here are going to get epoxied to these. These wing roots are going to get epoxied to the wing box itself, and there's going to be epoxy on the back side here on each one of these. So I think that's going to be pretty strong, and I think it's going to be strong enough. So at that point, the fuse tube has two carbon fiber rods running down the center of it. This is the front, this is the back, and pretty simple. Two bulkheads, two carbon fiber rods running down it. The plane in which those carbon fiber rods are running down it is actually going to be my electronics deck, where I'm going to put my two 6S batteries and my receiver and electronics and all that stuff. And this is of course the hatch. I had to open that up. This is not done at all, finished at all. This is just opened up so I could get access to locate some things when I was finishing up this wing box section. So I have these standoffs here, and they're actually going to get epoxy to the top of these dowels like that, and they're grooved just to fit those fit on top of those dowels just right. And then of course the fuselage has been opened up in these locations to fit right over that and seat right down into the wing box itself. Now these will sit real snug up against the bottom of those dowels running down either side. They're going to get epoxied at every joint, and there's also going to be some straps. So it's going to be strapped around the dowels that are running through the wing box, up and over the dowels that are running long ways through the fuselage tube, and at all 6 points. And I don't think anything but a hard crash is going to separate this fuse tube from the wing box itself. So I'm pretty confident that's going to work. I'm not going to glue any of that together just yet. I need to finish my motor mount section before I do that. I want that all done before I glue everything in there. So what I'll probably do is in my second video, I will show the completed gluing and how that's going to be just before I do the segment on the engine mount setup that I'm doing. Like I said, if there's anything, if there's any interest in these wing shapes that I've come up with, let me know, and maybe I'll do a video on that at some point during this build. This is the first foam airplane for me, first foam jet. I've never really flown a ducted fan, so this is my first one. This is going to run two 70 millimeter EDFs. It's going to run two 6S batteries, and we'll see how it goes. I may end up going to 68s if I can't stuff these 70s in it. We'll see how that goes, but I'm pretty happy with this section. So part 2 is going to be pretty much an update on the wing box section, just the gluing, and I'll just show you guys that briefly, and then the motor mount setup I have. I'll show you guys the wings on. Actually, that's backwards. Alright. These wings are just going to slide on. Tight fit, man. These are actually going to get glued to the root of that wing. Of course, wing number 2. I won't put this one all the way on, but you guys get the gist of it. The wings aren't completely finished yet. They're cut and sheeted except the bottom, so I can get everything installed, located, and half installed before I do the final sheeting. I got to get the gear in. I got Hobby King retracts for this, so that'll be another video, of course. So hopefully in a week or two I can have the engine mount video complete, and this thing will be on its way. So thank you very much, and until next time.